A Republican wife has been charged with 52 counts of voter fraud in a failed attempt to help her husband win his 2020 election. So much for the party of election integrity. So there's this expression which says sometimes an accusation is a confession. And that seems to be the modern day unofficial mantra or slogan of the Republican Party on a variety of topics, from free speech, corruption, nepotism, child safety, but also very often election integrity and voter fraud. And this wild, wild story out of Iowa that I'm going to share with you really embodies that hypocrisy beautifully. And you should keep that in the back of your mind the next time that you're sitting across from your conservative uncle or your Republican grandpa and they want to complain about the 2020 election and make baseless allegations of voter fraud. You can cite this story as an example of why they should probably shut up. Because the wife of a failed Republican congressional candidate has been charged with 52 counts of voter fraud in a failed attempt to try to help him win his election. And the Associated Press broke the news. Axios did some coverage on it. But the wife of a northwestern Iowa County supervisor has been charged with 52 counts of voter fraud after she allegedly filled out and cast absentee ballots in her husband's unsuccessful race for a, of course, Republican nomination to run for Congress in 2020, federal prosecutors said. Kim Fong Taylor, 49, was arrested Thursday and pled not guilty to the charges before being released on a personal recognizance bond, according to the Sioux City Journal. Her trial is scheduled to begin March 20th. Prosecutors allege in an indictment unsealed Thursday that Taylor filled out voter registration forms or delivered absentee ballots for people in Sioux City's Vietnamese community who had a limited ability to read and understand English. She filled out dozens of voter registrations, absentee ballot request forms, and absentee ballots containing false information, and delivered absentee ballots, sometimes without the knowledge of the people whose names were used, according to the indictment. Why, golly gee, that sounds like ballot harvesting. I thought Republicans widely opposed that. I thought you weren't supposed to deliver unsolicited absentee ballots to people who didn't request them. I guess unless you're a Republican, then it's okay. Pat Gill, who is Woodbury County's auditor and election commissioner, said Thursday that he notified the Iowa Secretary of State's office after someone contacted his office because a ballot had been fraudulently cast in their name in November 2020. He said his office later provided the FBI with suspected fraudulent registration forms and absentee ballots. Taylor committed the fraud before the June 2020 primary, in which her husband, Jeremy Taylor, a former Iowa House member, finished in a distant third in the race for the Republican nomination to run for Iowa's 4th District in Congress. The winner of that race, Randy Feenstra, easily won election to Congress that November. Prosecutors contend that Taylor committed the same fraud before the November 2020 election, in which Jeremy Taylor was elected to the Woodbury County Board. Jeremy Taylor, now this is important, her husband, Jeremy, is not named in the indictment and is not accused of any wrongdoing, okay? And her husband declined to comment. Axios provided, I think, some additional information. She faces 26 counts of providing false information and registering and voting. They get into specifics. They break the numbers down. As well as 3 counts of voter registration fraud and 23 counts of fraudulent voting. And the real shocker is, and this is probably making her sphincter clench, Taylor, if convicted, faces a maximum penalty of 5 years per each count for 52 counts. Okay, that's not good, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binaries. That is not good at all. Okay, now obviously this is just an indictment. This is just a charge, right? She may not be convicted of anything, right? The trial will begin on March 20th. There are 52 separate charges. She may not be successfully convicted on any of them. She might be exonerated by, the trial process. Or she may be charged or successfully convicted on just a number of the 52. Maybe 2, maybe 50, maybe some number in between. And she may be successfully convicted on all 52 charges. But even if that's the case, that's just the maximum penalty. 5 years per charge. The judge or the jury, I assume it's the judge, I doubt he's going to hit her with 5 years per each one. But again, you never know. But the fact that that is even on the table, woo, that probably makes her nervous. But I just wanted to point this out because I was scrolling through Axios earlier and I saw this article and just the headline jumped out at me. This is not uncommon. I think maybe the scale of it, like the scale of this sort of Republican shenaniganry going on. But even though voter fraud collectively is relatively rare and certainly not common enough to upset the outcome of a particular election, when it does happen, it seems like Republicans are actually more likely to do it than Democrats. And again, stories like this kind of reaffirm that trend. So again, something to have in your back pocket the next time you're arguing with a right-wing family member who wants to complain about Democrat voter shenanigans. You can point this out and say, stuff it. Hey you! Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, and I hope that you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. And if you absolutely hated the video, the best revenge for you is also to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. That'll teach me. If you want to share an opinion or share some feedback, go ahead and leave a comment, all right? 2023 is a year of change, hence the aggressive rebrand and commitment to new content. Inspired by my friends Luke Beasley and STV Philly, my personal goal for this channel is to hit 40,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So I'm hoping you'll do me a solid by spreading the word and the videos to potential fans and hate watchers alike. And in the meantime, we'll be pondering politics again with you very soon.